Hey, what's going on, everybody? Nick here, back with another lockdown fly tying video. And today I want to be tying up a pattern that I've never tied before, I've never fished before. Pretty new to me, although I've messed around with the concepts of this fly quite a bit. This fly comes courtesy of K-Fish Lou over at WashingtonFlyFishing.com. He made a step-by-step instructional post on this fly a year or two ago, and I remember seeing it then and thinking it was cool. And then I came across it last night while looking for some motivation, and figured, what the heck, let's give that one a shot. This is basically like a jiggy and a surf candy kind of combined together. It's going to be tied on an Arex SA280 hook, the size 4, and I have a 4mm tungsten bead on here. That tungsten bead is really going to give this thing some weight, get it down into the rocks, and probably really emphasize sort of that up and down action, which is sort of the point of this whole concept. So I've just got some Vivus mono thread here. I'm going to come in right behind the bead and just start laying down a thread base. Like I said, I've messed around with the Jiggy concept quite a bit over the last 2 or 3 years. The Jiggy is a Popovic's thing where he basically, it's tied with a cone head, and then but it basically gives the fly some good up and down. And of course, I've used surf candies a ton, but I've never really combined the two. So this is pretty cool. I know Lou's a good fly tyer and a good fisherman, and if he says this is an effective fly for him, I believe him. So first up is going to be some white bucktail. In his step-by-step, he talks about really keeping it sparse. He says maybe like a dozen hairs. So I've just got some bucktail here, pretty thin. Thin that out even just a little bit more. This is going to be a very sparse fly, so probably even more so than I usually go with bucktail. This is extremely sparse. So I'm just going to get it to the length that I want. Come in behind the bead and tie that down. And wrap that thread back till just about where the start of the bend. Then we're going to go with some chartreuse bucktail. Same thing, very sparse. Just going to cut off a chunk of that and do the same thing. Just pick through it. Probably I'm going to go slightly sparser with the chartreuse than I did with the white. Tie that one down right in the same spot, right behind the bead. And then some light blue bucktail. Same exact thing. We're gonna thin that out. This is probably not even sparse enough the way I've got it here. It's one of the things when I don't care how long you've been tying flies, or when you tie a new pattern, at least for me, it always takes a few goes at it before you really get the feel for the portions. And that's why when I tie something new, I usually like to tie, at least a half dozen of them at a point there, so I can really feel by the end that I really get a feel for a lot of that sort of stuff. Alright, that's looking pretty good. Then he uses a little different flash in his step-by-step. I didn't have the angel hair that he had. So So I'm just going with some pink Ripple Ice Fiber because I really like the pink and chartreuse and light blue color combo. And then I'm also going with some of this Smolt Blue Ripple Ice Fiber, which I just love this color. I look for about any excuse possible to use it. So I'm not needing a ton of this. Kind of got them just a little mixed up together. I'm going to tie that in on top. I'm going to kind of try to fan it out and bring it down the sides a little bit just to help give it some lateral flash. It's alright. Okay, now I'm just gonna clean this up, whip finish. And then we'll play around with some resin. Okay, so first I'm going to find some eyes. Got some 3mm and some 4mm here. Guessing the 3mm might be. We'll go with the 4s. Why not? Help me give me a little bit more of a teardrop profile to this when I resin it. So I'm just going to take eyes, put them right in behind the bead. A little bit of mono thread sticking out there. There we go. I actually find that getting the eyes on there with the bead is actually a little bit easier. The bead just kind of helps nestle them in there and center them. And then I'm just taking some fine UV resin, coming in right between the eyes, just get some soaked in there. So it's just a bottle's getting low. Just to get them held in there initially, since right now they're just stuck on there. The same thing underneath. And then they're pretty well secure on here at this point, so then you can just go about whatever you want to do as far as finishing up this body. Just going to take some thin UV resin, just kind of dab some on there and work your way around. Just kind of want everything a little heavy on the teardrop up forward with the bigger eyes, but that's alright. I'm just using my vise to kind of get that shaped. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to do it all in one shot too. I'm going to probably do another 2 or 3 shots with resin here. The thicker of the resin that you use, the less it'll be moving around the hook. The downside of that is that it builds up bulk pretty quickly. And I'm going to get some of the material here and work it back. Stiffen the first part of this up so this isn't going to foul up on me. Just use that applicator tip thing and work that resin around in there. Sorry, I don't mean to shine the light directly into the camera. Alright, take just a little bit more resin on this body. And this is just however you want it to look, basically. There we go. That'll be alright. I guess this doesn't have to be perfect. It's going to be kind of swimming erratic and a little goofy anyway with that tungsten on there, so. Alright, I'm going to call that good. Not too bad for my first go of this. I think I would still go sparser on the bucktail and maybe try it with a 3mm adhesive eyes just to get a little bit slender, more slender profile. But sometimes you can whip up a fly in your vise and you don't have to fish it to know that you'll catch plenty of fish. And looking at this one, I have no doubt that this will catch fish. I really like this sort of color combination, the Keta rose, blue and chartreuse and white. Of course, I really like blue and pink too, so I had to throw some pink in there. But anyway, like I said, I'll put the link for the original step-by-step in the description. Somebody wants to go check that out, it's available. So thanks for the inspiration on this one, Lou. I'm gonna have to tie another dozen of these and get better at it, but not too shabby for the first go. So give this one a shot. Add a few to your box. If they work for you, let me know. And as always, thanks for watching.